Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel again. So today we are going to see something very interesting, which is where we are going to see to scan a QR code using Vue.js, and we are going to draw an outline on the QR code. So it's going to detect the QR code, track the QR code, and draw an outline again around it. I will put the link in the description to the project I have done, and I have deployed it on Heroku. So what we are going to do is not the entire project like that, but just I'm going to do a bit of that. So without any further ado, let's begin. So first thing we need to do is make sure that you have npm installed. Next, you need to make sure that you have Vue CLI installed. So after you install npm, you need to go to installation in the Vue CLI documentation, and there you will find all this. You'll find all the steps. To install Vue CLI. The reason we are using Vue CLI, like command line interface for Vue, it makes prototyping of the project or building Vue project super simple and super fast. So we are going to see how we are going to use Vue CLI and Vue 3 to proceed forward. And also, if you see that, so I'll show you what I'm going to use. I'm also going to use Tailwind. So I'll show you how to install Tailwind and integrate it with Vue. So let's first, as I've already installed Vue CLI, I'm going to say Vue create the project name. So if I say QR code scanner, something like this, and if I hit enter, fine. So now it's asking me for the options. So you can go with the default Vue 3 version, the default settings. So it installs Babel and ESLint according, like in a default way. But if you want to select features manually, you could do that as well. So let's see what options we are going to get when we do it manually. So let's go over here. So let's choose Vue version. So I'm going to choose 3.x. So this Vue 3. I just want with only error prevention only for now, and lint and fix. I'll do it lint on save. Yep, that's true. And in a package.json, and I guess it's just the default one, and that's it. So now it will create a project. Again, it's gonna take a bit of time because it will compile all the dependencies and packages and then create a scaffolding for you, and then we are good to go forward. So let's wait for a moment. Cool. So now it is already installed and scaffolded well. So let's see what we have under the QR code scanner directory. So let's go over there, QR code scanner, and yep, that's true. And here, let's open it with VS Code and let's see what we have. So as you could see, we have package.json over here with all the dependencies installed, and a good scaffolding. If you go again in the src folder, then components, you have one default component of hello world, which we will see how it looks, and we have here main.js. So this is our main file, and this app over here is going to be the entry point for this hashtag app over here. It's nothing but an element which is going to be an entry point for our Vue.js to put all the components that we are going to do. So if I go in the under public index.html, you will see here is that div ID, div with app ID, or div having ID as app. So here everything will automatically come once we do npm run serve. So that's the basics of it, and all the static file, you can put it either under assets, or you can just put it over here under src folder, inside the src folder. And again, the node modules are nothing but all the dependencies and packages you have installed. So this is the rough scaffolding that we get. And now let's start building over it. So if I go again on the command line, it says npm run serve. So let's quickly do that, npm run serve, and now it will start a server after compiling all whatever 8080. So let's go over here, and there we are. We have our first Vue.js app already set. It's not first for me, but the first time we are doing this I'm doing this with you, so we have it over here. And now let's see what happens when we go in hello world.view, and let's just remove everything from here straight away. And if I save this now, let's see what we are getting here. If everything is done, click refresh. So after I remove hello world contents from the hello world.view, we have just the view icon, which is coming straight from app.view. So we have here app.view over here, and under that we have hello world component. So we just erased everything from there. And now I don't need this as well because I'm going to create my own component. So I'm just going to delete this straight away, and I'm going to go and create under components QR code scanner dot view. Here let's create the quick view scaffolding with the template and script tag. We don't need the setup for now, so that's it. And now what we need to do is we are gonna install first Tailwind to just give some styling, and then we are gonna install our library, the MVP Vue 3 QR code scanner. So first go and let's install Tailwind. So as you can see, I'm getting the error, which is very normal because I have done lots of I've removed that hello world component and I'm still using it over here. So that's the beauty of this in development server, like a small change and you get an error instantly, or if there's an error you can see it instantly. So if I just remove this from here and also from here, and if I save this, the error should go. Cool. And now let's go and install Tailwind. So in the Tailwind documentation under installation, you will see various options. We will go with Vue 3 White, white. So we already have our Vue.js project, so we don't need to start from here. We want to start from here. So we will say npm install and we'll just copy this command. So if I go over here, stop the server for a while, and if I say install, so it will install all the necessary packages which are required to compile Tailwind CSS. Okay, so we will see in a shortly like how it works. So let's first install this. So after we install this, let's go to the next step. We need to init the Tailwind CSS configuration files. So first will be the tailwind config.js and then the PostCSS config.js. So as you could, if I go over here and init it, it should be there. Okay, so as you could see, we have here two files, one tailwind config.js and PostCSS config.js. So here, if you want to add extra plugins for your Tailwind, you can put it over here. And also if you want to add extra configurations like say extra font or extra colors or something like that, you can put it over here. And now let's go right. We need to create index.css in the src folder. So let's go to the src folder, and here let's create new file, and we will say index.css. Sorry, and in that we are gonna copy paste these 3 lines. Right. So what will happen now is whenever we run npm run serve or whenever we build our project, these config files will be used, and all the dependencies we installed before will be used to compile whatever these base components and utilities we have written in 3 lines. It would expand into a big CSS file through which we could be able to use all the Tailwind classes. So let's go again over here, and I guess we are almost done. Last line we need to do is just import this in our main.js so that we can use it in our other components. So let's go over here, paste it, and that's it. Now we might get one error, so I will just show you why we are going to get that error. If I do npm run serve, cool. So the error is because of the PostCSS plugin. So generally for whenever you're using PostCSS or Tailwind in your project, and suppose some of the packages or some of the dependencies are not ready to support this feature, then you need to use the previous version of it, which is PostCSS 7. So what I would suggest is, whenever this error comes, Google to the rescue. We will just type Tailwind PostCSS error, and then over here, like Stack Overflow link always to the rescue, and if you go here, it will show you the step-by-step procedure on how to overcome that error. Okay, so first we need to run these two commands. So let's quickly grab the first one. We need to remove Tailwind first, like completely, and I'll just do Control C. Oops, just need to copy it again. So let's remove Tailwind. PostCSS, auto prefixer, everything, and we need to install them again with the previous version. So we'll just have it copied and let's paste it. And now once we do this, once this is installed, we will see that the error is gone. So let's wait till this gets installed. Okay, it's installed. Now let's do our npm run serve. And here we go in 3, 2, 1, start the server. There. So let's go back to our page, and then cool. So we have our Tailwind installed and integrated with our Vue.js project. So now let's try to use this. So in my app.vue, I will just create, or let's go in our index.html, and to our body, let's give a class of Tailwind. So I would say I want the gray background, like the dark gray background. So I say bg gray 900. And if I save this, and if I go over here, it's working well. So now let's install QR code scanner library. So here, if you just type Vue3 QR code, you will get to the documentation page, or you will get to the GitHub page, wherever it is, but it has all beautifully given step-by-step guidance with only one small thing you need to consider, that I'll show you what. So if I go to the API reference, which will open this thing. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is the API reference page, and yep. So here you will see that it has a Vue QR code reader. If you do this with Vue 3, you will get an error for this component rendering. For that purpose, you need to make sure that when you do this, when you copy this, make sure that you are writing here Vue 3 QR code reader, so that the error I was talking about won't arise. So let's wait till this gets in. Now let's go to npm. Okay, so let's go to our code again, and let's see if everything is working great. Now let's use the component. So over here, I'm gonna say import QR scanner. Sorry, it is QR stream. Yeah, let's quickly have a look. Yeah, QR code stream. So we need to make sure that we are using this one, the QR code stream. So it had all the functions. So let's do that. QR code stream from Vue 3 QR code reader. And let's have here components. It should be QR code stream, and see what we are getting on our website. If I just refresh, oh, I need to use that component. Now I have to use QR code scanner in our app.vue. So how I'm going to do it, I'll just write here import QR code scanner from, so I need to go one in the same directory. I need to go in components / QR code scanner dot view, and then here I just need to use it, something like QR code scanner and QR code scanner. So you will see that I have used like a key value pair for components. So if you aren't sure about the naming convention, you can always do like a key value pair, so that this will be the component name that is going to go over here, and this with the component you're importing from other file. So let's put that component over here. We'll say QR code scanner. Let's see what we are getting here. Oh, so we have an error. It's not been registered, but not has been registered QR code stream. Okay, so I guess I did an error over here. QR code stream. This should be small. Sorry about that. Extremely sorry about this. It's just a small QR code. So now it will be good. Okay, so now it will start the camera, and we just need to make this fit in the frame. So let's give some CSS styling to it. So here I'm gonna wrap this in a div. So I would say let's put it in the center. So I would say flex and height screen, and yeah, that should be good. And then again this I'm gonna wrap again inside a div class. So I'm gonna say this one will have class of width 3/4 means 75%, height full. Let's see how it looks first, and I want this to be margin auto so that it's in the center of the screen. So let's see what we have, and yeah, so we just need to reduce the height. So it's let's make it something like 696 maybe, which is around something in realms of too much. Let's make this why not let's make this to be half. Sorry, okay, this is not bad. So let's now scan our QR code. So obviously it won't work because we need to trigger the component, trigger the events on scanning the QR codes. If I just scan this, okay, nothing works. So now let's go in our code again. Before that, let's jump into the example in the QR code reader documentation. So here you will see that there's a beautiful example on how to outline, but again there is a width glitch in this example, which we will see what is it. And yeah, so we are just going to refer this. And also here you will see in the documentation again in the API references, there are all the events and functions in explained very well. So we will need add decode. So as we are just focusing on QR code, we are going to see we just want the string out of it. So I'll just use this. So here when an event occurs of decode, so in Vue, if you're new to Vue, @decode means an event is coming from that QR code. This is a custom event. So from this component, a custom event of decode is coming, and we are listening like this. So we will say like add decode equal to you will bind it to a function. So let's say decode, and let's write the function over here in the methods. So methods, it's gonna be an array. No, I need to put, sorry, not an array, it's a JSON object. Okay, array object, yeah. So we need a decode, and in this we need to pass a parameter of the string that we are going to get. So something like decoded string. As you could see, like I haven't mentioned any parameter here because you don't need to do it. If you go in the documentation in the decode, it shows like it tells you that it will pass. If I type decode, yeah, you need to listen for the string. So we are just going to listen for that. So we're just going to get that And let's see what we are going to get in the console.log, and let's see decode string. So if I go again over here and open my console, let's remove this and let's see what we are getting. Okay, so we are getting the URL. That's cool. So our QR code is getting detected. Now let's track the QR code and let's draw the boundary around it. Hello. So let's go over here and let's see. So we need to refer to the track one. So if I go back again over here and if I show you init is the one when if you want to catch any errors, so you can use the init event and then it takes the promise. So let's go to the track and we are interested in the prop in this. So let's track and here it's going to take a callback. So that callback, again, we are going to write it over here. So I would say draw outline. Oops, outline. Now we will just keep the function draw outline, and to this function we are going to pass two parameters which you will see over here. So the first parameter is nothing but the decoded value, and the second parameter is the context. So if you see, like, this is what I was talking about, the detected codes and the context. So the context is of, like, for this library, like on this camera there is an overlaying layer of canvas, HTML canvas. So each canvas, like, you have a context with it. So this context over here, so this context over here refers to that canvas context. So let's, on our detect, like, let's see what we are getting. So decoded data and our context. So let's see. Oh, I always forget the comma over here, and let's see first what we are getting here. So .log, and let's see decode data, and we just remove the decoded string because we don't need for now. And let's see in our project, decode string is defined by okay, so I just need to keep this because it's defined but never used, no problem. And context is defined but never used. I also need to console it to just show you guys how it looks. And let's do it like this. So now if I just bring the QR code here, so as you could see, like, the first, this was I was like talking about the canvas context over here, canvas rendering. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but I'll just try to make it bigger. Yeah, so this one, the canvas rendering is that the context was from that canvas, and in the decoded thing we are getting the coordinates of the QR code. So it's like the top right, sorry, yeah, this is my top right, top left, top right, bottom right, bottom left, and we are also getting like bottom right alignment pattern, and then bottom left alignment pattern, and all these coordinates. So these coordinates will be of our use to draw a bounding box around it. Now we just need 4 coordinates, that's the corner point. So we need top left, top right, bottom right, and bottom left, and then we will just join them with lines. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for vark in decode data. Let's see, I want to use a switch case, so this one. And if I go back again over here, so I want to see the bottom left corner, I want to see the top left corner, I want to see the top right corner, and I also need bottom right corner. So one thing, I'm doing this not according to this, because here the detected codes is returned as an object, while this function or this follow is literally suited for array or there needs to be an iterative function in your object if you want to use for loop, or more like an iteration. As this object doesn't have any iterative function or anything which we can iterate on, we cannot use for loop in this way. So what we need to do is, we also, this corner points function, it's in the new library, it's not there. I'm saying this because I have tried this before and I'm coming from there. So what we are going to do is, we are going to first take only the corner points. That's why I have put the switch case, and then we are going to put it in the array, and the rest all remains the same. So let's go over here and let's see if value is so I will need the array of points. So let's go and say var points equal to an empty array. And here if I go back to our project, sorry, there are a lot many tabs, so we will just need this thing. So let's quickly grab if key, sorry, this should be k, not key, and if this is top right corner, if I'm spelling it correctly, and yeah, top right corner, then I want top right corner. Let's start from the top left, to be honest, so that we will go in a sequence. So top left corner, and if it's the top left corner, then I want in my points of 0th position, I want that to be my first point. So I will say decode data of k. Similarly, I need to do it for top right, bottom right, and bottom left. So this, and this, and if I say this will be top right, and this will become 1, and this would be bottom right, and this will become 2, because this is the third point out of those 4 points. And then we have bottom left, this will become our last point. So let's quickly, yeah, so I'm just having a plugin to like structure the Vue code or PHP code or HTML code in Vue. That's the beauty of VS Code, that you have like tons of plugins you can use, and that come handy when like structuring code like this. So this is done. Now next we need to do is, once we have points, so let's see what points we are getting. So here I'm just gonna say console.log points, and I'm also going to need to console.log context x, else I will get an error. So let's see. So here we have it. Let's remove this and let's see. So as you could see, we are having our 4 points, which is like an xy coordinates of all those 4 coordinates, or all those 4 corner points. So now let's quickly, after we have this, now let's try to draw the box around it. So what we are going to do is, we will need to pass these points in an array, which we already have. So now after we have our coordinates, now next thing to do is to draw a bounding box. So what we are going to do is, we are going to use this context, and we will pass these coordinates to this context one by one, and then draw a box using these points. So we will need to define first the stroke style. So I would say the color for the sorry, S should be capital, and this, and I want my color to be, say, let's try green color, and then I want that context to start drawing. So I would say context dot begin path, and then after this is done, what we need is we need to pass these 4 points that we have. And how we are going to do it? Simply by saying that we need to first take our positioning to the first corner point. So we are going to say context dot move to, and here I want point. So we will start from the top left. So we will say point of 0, which is our top left, dot x, and we will comma, and we will need point 0 or dot y. So the x coordinate of the top left and the y coordinate of the top left. So this point is our starting point. Once we have that, what we need to do is we need to draw a line to all the points from this first point. So we won't draw it. So we need to draw it to the top right, and then to the bottom right, and then to the bottom left, and from bottom left to top left. So how we are going to do this is we are going to simply say for the xy position, so x comma y of points we have, which is our point, I want to draw a line, context dot line to all of this x and y points. Once we draw a line, I want to start from the end it back again to the first point. So what I'm gonna do, I will just copy this line exactly, and instead of x and y, I'm gonna say this point because I want to come back again to the first point. So here we are back again to the first point, and then we are gonna close the path so that we already covered the path. We don't need to go again to forward from top left to again top right. So we're gonna say context dot close path, and we will need the stroke, text dot stroke. Okay, so now let's see what's gonna happen. So we'll just remove this console and let's see in our code. So this is my QR code, and if I show here, oh, so we have an error, cannot read property x of undefined. Let's go over here and context dot move to points. Okay, let's see what problem we are facing here. 0.0. Okay, the problem we were facing was mostly because this part of drawing the box around the QR code is inside of a for loop. So what's happening is it's reading the top right corner first, and then when it goes to this, there is no top left corner, or the 0 point is not there. So the p of 0 is not, so our first point is undefined. So that's why, as this thing is not in sequence, we put a switch case so that after these points are collected, then outside our for loop, we will put the context, and from here, so here and here outside the for loop, we will put the context, and guess I break something, and this, and this. Okay, we don't need this bracket, and it should be good to go. So let's quickly have a scan and let's see how it looks. So if I remove this, you will see there is the green line. So let's try to increase the width of this line so it's more clear. So context dot line width, and then the width I want, so I'll just give it 10, and let's see, it should make it more dark now. And if I show this, so you could see like it draws the outline alongside of the QR code. So that's what from me. So thank you for watching the video so patiently, and sorry for the long video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions, or if you have anything to say, feel free to put down in the comment section below. And also I'm running the Vue.js Boot Camp, so I'll put the link in the description as well. So do check that, and if you're interested, do join in. So thanks again, and see you later. Bye bye.